Great bounce back win for the Phillies. Fantastic bounce back win. They win 7-4 in game 2 of this series after yesterday's nightmare, whatever you want to call that, where we allowed 8 home runs. The Phillies were just on top of it today. I feel like there was a sense of urgency out of this Philly squad, especially offensively, because they felt the pressure by the Braves. They realized the Braves tied up for the division lead, and I felt this sense of focus out of this squad that they should have all the time. They were solid today, and it was all sparked early by Scott Kingery. My man hit a 3-run shot after JT Realmuto and Jay Bruce both single. He has been so special. It kind of scares me because his approach was, okay, let's change everything the Phillies told me to do from last year, do my own thing, and oh wow, look at me, I'm actually producing. So it scares me that Scott Kingery took his own approach this year and switched up everything that the Phillies told them to do essentially last season, and now he's having success. I don't know, that's a little scary, don't you think? Scott Kingery, though, was outstanding, and he sparked this team early with that 3-run home run. He's been the crush in the baseball, man. He's literally outstanding. The ball, the pop, it's unreal out of this guy. And who was playing last year? His twin? Who was playing last year? It wasn't this Scott Kingery. It couldn't have been the same person, honestly. He's been special. And Bryce Harper ends up doubling in that inning as well with 2 outs, which helped add more runs. We're up 4-0, and that gave Jake Arrieta some comfort. Now, how did Jake Arrieta do on the mound today? I'm just going to give him okay. I thought he did okay. He didn't do bad. He definitely didn't do bad, but it's not like he was great either. His stat line was 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. He did walk 4 and had 5 strikeouts. It was an okay day at the office. It definitely wasn't bad, though. I can't lean towards that, but it's not going to win you Cy Young, right? It was an okay outing out of Jake Arrieta, in my opinion. Things got a little iffy in the 4th and the 5th. We allow 3 runs. Scott Kingery's in the outfield, and I don't know what he's doing. He's tripping over himself. Jay Bruce, though, in the outfield and left field, made an outstanding diving grab. I'll tell you what, Jay Bruce has been awesome. A spark plug for this baseball club, and I would have never expected it. I would have never expected him to have the type of impact that he has had for this team since Andrew McCutchen went down. So after they cut the lead to 1, after we were up 4 runs, we respond, but in a weird way. JT Realmuto doubles. There's some throwing errors involved. Rhys Hoskins is on third base, but he elects to run home after some weird throws, and he almost got gunned out at home, but then there was a bad throw to the home plate. I've realized that this baseball team is so bad running the bases. I tweeted this out during the game. There's a difference between being aggressive and then stupidity when it comes to running the bases. Early in this game, Gene Segura ends up trying to run for 2. He gets lucky because of a bad throw, and he's safe at second, but that was a garbage idea for him to go to second base. It worked out, but I've mentioned this before. It doesn't matter if it worked out or not. That's not how I judge things. It didn't make sense for Gene Segura to go to second. And when Rhys Hoskins went home, it worked out, but that was a bad idea. He completely stopped at third base and then said, He hesitated. It worked out, but it wasn't a smart play. This team running the bases, I don't get it. There's a difference between being aggressive and trying to be ballsy and then stupid base running. And I don't know if this Phillies team knows the difference right now. It's tough for me to watch at times. But the argument is, well, we're scoring runs off of it, or they're not getting out. Well, let me date back to Bryce Harper trying to steal home. Was he out then? Rhys Hoskins had an RBI single. Jay Bruce had an RBI single. We were knocking in some runs playing small ball after Scott Kingery did his thing. So Scott Kingery with the 3-run homer. Then we get an RBI double by Bryce Harper. And then JT gets that double, which scores a run on an error. Jay Bruce single RBI and Rhys single RBI. Just knocking in runs, playing some small ball. We finished with 12 hits. Jay Bruce 2 for 3 with a walk. JT 2 for 4 and had 2 runs. Rhys 2 for 3 and a walk. He was great. The bullpen came in. J.D. Hammer came in the 7th. He did get out of a little bit of some noise there. He allowed a solo shot to make the score 7-4, which is how the game finished out. And with 2 men on in the 7th, we were up 3 runs, and he was on the mound, the ball was a half inch from going out to tie the ball game. But that wasn't the first time that happened. When Jake Arrieta was up on the mound in the 6th, we were up 6-3, 2 men on. There was a ball that was a half inch out from going out. It's crazy. If this was last night, totally different ball game because the ball was leaving the ballpark. There's no denying that. We escaped 2 times a potential 3-run shot. It could have been dangerous if the humidity was different. But I can counter that by saying, in the first inning, Bryce Harper went to opposite field, and that ball was so close to going out. Sean Rodriguez had one to right field. I don't know if that one would have went out yesterday. I think he might have just missed it with the barrel, just missed it, but that was close as well. So it wasn't just those 2 chances for the Diamondbacks. We had a couple that probably would have went out last night as well. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We get the W. That's what matters. The Braves are up 7-5 right now, and there's a rain delay, and it's the bottom of the 8th or so. I don't know, but at this time of the recording right now, it looks like the Braves are going to finish the job and win. But as we go with the bullpen, J.D. Hammer got out of a little bit of a jam, and he allowed 1 run with the solo shot. Juan Nicasio did his job, and Hector Neris comes in and gets the save, and he's been truly remarkable this year. There is no denying that. I feel comfortable with Hector Neris on the mound. I love saying that statement. It actually makes me laugh because I remember last year doing these videos and laughing. Literally laughing. I couldn't hold back how much I was laughing when we put Hector Neris in the ball games because he was so pathetic. It's crazy, and it is true. When it comes to bullpen guys, every year is so different. Honestly, every month potentially is so different. It's either they're feeling comfortable, they got the rhythm, they got the flow, or they don't, and they get destroyed and they get crushed out there. But right now, Hector Neris is rolling, but he does this. He starts out the season well, and then as the months continue to go on, he somewhat dies out. So let's see if he is able to keep up this level of play. But right now, he has been very special. Tomorrow, with the chance to win the series, we have Zach Eflin on the mound, and he's arguably my favorite pitcher to watch right now on the Phillies staff. So we'll see how that plays out. But we do have a chance, and we responded. We get a little bit of our asses kicked yesterday. The ball was flying out of here. It was somewhat embarrassing how it all went down, and we responded with, like I said in the beginning, it seemed like we had an attitude at the plate. It seemed like we had this extra focus, this extra determination. Now, why does it seem like some nights we don't have that and some nights, well, realistically, I don't know if there's been a night yet this year where I can say we looked as dialed in as we did today. And I'm telling you, I think a lot of that has to do with knowing the Atlanta Braves are on the prowl, knowing the Atlanta Braves are winning baseball games and seriously catching up to us, and knowing that they're good, knowing that the Braves lineup is deep, knowing they picked up Dallas Keuchel. I think the Phillies are realizing, okay, boys, we got to put it together here. And you saw that today with their approach when it comes to batting. And they gave effort, of course, on the defensive side as well. It's funny because it started out not so much. Jake Arrieta's on the mound, and you know his argument. He always yells to the media about his teammates not having his back. Early in this game, it was like the first inning. Sean Rodriguez is at third base. He doesn't slide on a ground ball. He thinks Gene Segura is backing him up, but he's not, and it ends up being a base hit through the left side of the infield. And I was saying, okay, let's see how Jake Arrieta responds to that. We had a double play ball to get out of the inning. Cesar flips it to Gene Segura. It was a bad throw, and we only got 1 out at second instead of the double play. And I'm saying, oh no, Jake Arrieta, how is he going to handle this moment? But things settled in, and Jay Bruce gets the diving stop out there in left field. And this fan base is hilarious with Jay Bruce. Bruce out in left field every time the guy's under a fly ball or makes a throw or anything, makes a play. He's loving it here. You saw an article that was on NBC Sports Philadelphia about how this can rejuvenate his career, being in a ballpark that actually has fans and being meaningful to a squad. You can see that he's having fun here, enjoying it, embracing it, and being a veteran leader, stepping into his role, knowing that he has big shoes to fill in Andrew McCutchen. I love that, though. I love the fact that a veteran is stepping in, and he's producing. My man gets 2 more hits today, an RBI. He's been so solid for this ball club, and realistically, a difference maker since Andrew McCutchen went down. There's no denying that. So, at the end of the day, the moral of the story here is, what's going on with Scott Kingery? What's going on with this guy? I have a feeling we might be toying around with the lineup soon because Cesar Hernandez at the top spot hasn't been crazy productive. Let's be real here. He hasn't been anything stellar like he was in that 6th, 7th spot before. I wonder if because Scott Kingery is being so successful, if maybe we tinker with the lineup and try and make some moves and see if we can move Scott Kingery up, or do we keep him there and say, listen, that's why maybe he's being so successful. But the ball is leaving the yard. He is looking spectacular with his approach to the plate up there and the way he's swinging at balls, the way he's seeing pitches. I'm loving Scott Kingery, and this is what we were supposed to sign. Last year when we signed and he was playing, I said, this guy, really, did we overvalue this talent? Is this a J.P. Crawford? Is this another name where we thought this guy was going to be special and we overvalued this prospect? But if he can continue to play like this, if he can swing the bat like this, if he can give us the effort that he gives us defensively like this, man, oh man, this is going to be an exciting tenure for Scott Kingery because he has been really solid. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.